Good afternoon. Welcome to Nick's Pinball Chronicles channel. I wanted to give anybody out there who had a question about lamp matrix problems. On many Bally Williams games, even Data East, all the earlier Sega, all the earlier early 90s games, and even today's games, but more back in the 90s, have what's called a lamp matrix. So what they did was to reduce the amount of wires that they put into these machines. They actually matrixed 64 lamps. So you have 8 lamps in 8 columns and 8 lamps in 8 rows. So a total of 64 controlled lamps that are controlled by the computer. And as you can see on the play field, all the control lamps, let me turn the power on. I see. As you can see, in the track mode, all the control lamps are all the ones that are flashing right now. Right? Now, if you ever have one that's out, that's not operating, there's an easy way to troubleshoot it. And this goes for Bally Williams, Data East, Sega, it doesn't matter. What you have to do is you got to get access to your back box. So open up your coin door. And grab the key for the back box. Turn the key, lift up your glass, depending on what game you have. Sorry, it's my wife in the other room calling for the cats. Take the back glass off and get access to your boards. Now what you have in a Bally Williams, you have your power driver board. There's your CPU. Your Fliptronics. I have a pin sound. Normally you'd have a soundboard there. And your DMD control. Now if you have a lamp out, it's really easy to troubleshoot. Here's your lamp matrix right here. You have your reds, which is your rows, and your columns, which is your yellows. So these transistors right here, 4, 8, 12, 16 transistors that control 64 lamps, because they're all in a matrix, as you can see in this chart. Everything's isolated by a diode. Point down, yeah, look down at the chart here. See this chart? So you got your rows and your columns. So you can put 64 lamps in a grid and you isolate them with a diode. Now if you have a lamp out, it's really easy to check. So you go to the test menu. Right now I'm in a track mode. So you go to the test. Go to tests. Whatever machine you have, it'll have a diagnostics menu. Go to tests. Then go to lamps. Then you go to all lamp test. Now all the control lamps on the play field will start flashing at once, including the ones in the back box. If you have control lamps on your panel in the back box, you see all of them are flashing now. Now if you have a bulb out, it's really easy to troubleshoot. All you got to do is get a jumper with a lamp socket with a diode. And what you do is you take your rows and unplug the rows in your columns, and you'll lose the lamps, which is okay. It's not going to hurt anything. to get this connector off. All right. So you have your yellows and your reds. Now, you can actually test each row and column depending on where you use your lamp. Now, I'm still in lamp test, so if you have a bad column or a row, you can find out which one it is. You just touch one pin at a time, and you'll see my lamp flash on my jumper. You got the jumper here, Ariana?
Mm-hmm.
There, watch it. When I do it, watch it. See it? See
Yep.
it's flashing?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know that, I believe that's pin 8. So I know that row 8 and column 8 on the board are working right now because my lamp's flashing. Now if I had a lamp out on the play field, to isolate the play field from the board, you use this. You don't even need a special test kit. You just need a jumper and a lamp with a diode. So you touch the second pin and you go here, check for the lamp flash, see it? Mm-hmm. That row's good, that column's good. Go to the next one over. That row and column are good. Just keep going down the line. 4. Here's column 4. 3. Gotta get around this ribbon cable here, but again, all the games are the same. See the lamp flashing? That's 2, row column 2 and row 2 and column 2. And here's row 1, column 1. So I know that if I have a lamp out, but the game is plugged in, I'll know that the problem is not the board. It's on the play field. Either there's a shorted wire, a wire that's solder sleeve that's cut, or a lamp that's not making a good connection. It could be any of those things. But you can test it with the lamps totally disconnected from the game. So you can isolate if you have a playfield wiring problem or a board problem. Now, if I went and did this test and I didn't get a lamp lighting on one of these rows with this disconnected from the game, I know that my problem is one of these transistors here. There's another way you can test it by, if you take, with the game not in all lamp test, you can actually take a jumper wire and ground it to the back box and just touch one of these tabs on each of these transistors, and that row or column of lamps will light. So you know that your transistor is good. But if the lamp is not lighting with this disconnected, is that on correct? Yes, it's on straight. If you know that this test lamp is not lighting when you have the plugs disconnected from the board, you know that there's a problem with the board, or the header pins, or there's a problem with one of your transistors, or one of your PIA chips up here. There's a disconnect somewhere in a cold solder joint. It could be a bad chip. Very rarely are they bad chips. Chips hardly ever go bad in these. But that's how you do a test for the lamp matrix on Bally Williams, Sega, Data East. They're all the same. They all have the same matrix. It just depends on what, I even think they use the same colors for rows and columns, yellow. And the board setup is a little different, but you could still jump the pins like I did with this, with the game disconnected, to isolate if you have a lamp wiring problem or board problem. Easy. Very, very simple. You can also do with the switch matrix, but that's a little bit more trickier because it's a lot harder to get to. But that is basically how you test your lamp matrix. So if anybody else has a lamp or two that's out, I have a customer right now. He's got a hook, Data East hook machine. I didn't have time to isolate it when I was there the last time. Let me lock this. But he's got a couple lamps out on his playfield, and that's what I'm gonna do when I go there. I'm gonna use the jumper method the next time I go and try to find out what's causing his problem. But yeah, he has what you can get out of this here. You get back into a track mode. And that is how you troubleshoot the lamp matrix. Very, very simple. You don't even need tools. You just need a lamp socket, a diode, and 2 jumper wires. Easy. That was it. Have a good rest of the weekend and keep watching my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.